Welcome back to Kettlebells and Cocktails. This is another edition of the Weekly Buzz, and I am joined by Joe Jeniton Palawa from the Morning Chalkup. How's it going, Joe?
All right, Nikki, how are you?
I am doing okay. It's Thanksgiving week. It's a short
It
week,
is,
so
yeah,
everything feels a little bit crazy and rushed heading toward Turkey Day, but it's good. It's all good. How about you?
kind of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Busy week, short week, and a lot of stuff going on at the gym.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Let's talk about it. Let's talk
yeah.
about things that are happening in and around the CrossFit community. If you're new to the Weekly Buzz, this is our partnership with the Morning Chalk Up, where Joe takes us through some of the top headlines for the week, and we get to hear just quick snapshot of what is happening in and around the world of CrossFit, from competition to affiliates and more. So why don't we start with competition? I feel like that's kind of the hot topic these days because we are
Mhm.
barreling toward a couple big competitions and things that people are interested in watching.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just a little rundown of some announcements that were made last week or early today already. Moving through the off-season competition list, starting with the Down Under Championship. As we've talked about, coming up December 1st through the 3rd, down in Australia, great lineup. The workouts have now been released for all divisions. I took a quick look through the programming. Looks really cool. Beach running, some odd object stuff, a lot of barbells. It looks really fun. On the individual side, I really like the final two workouts. So event 7 and 8 is a double scored event, and it's grace and double grace with an 8-minute time cap. So athletes will do 60 clean and jerks at the prescribed weight for grace, 135.95, but they'll get two separate scores, once at the 30 rep mark and then once for the total number of 60 reps. So that's going to, I think, play some fun games with pacing there. You can't kind of just slow down if you want to score well in that first half. So it's going to force people to push harder than they want to and be more uncomfortable than they want to. So that's going to be fun to watch.
Is my favorite thing to watch is my favorite athletes being as uncomfortable as possible.
Couple of other quick announcements. The Oceania Affiliate Summit is going to be held at the Down Under Championship. So the day before November 30th at the Wynn Center, which is where the event is taking place. The regional affiliate summit will be there. Great lineup of speakers. Check it out on the Down Under Instagram page. The announcements there with all the details. And of course, there will be a live stream of the event, not the summit, but the actual Down Under Championship on YouTube. So
Fun.
that's where we're at with Down Under.
Okay, and,
Um,
take going across sort of across the ocean to the other
yeah,
major competition happening in the next month or so, the Dubai
yeah.
Fitness Championship. What's
The
happening there?
following the following week, December 8th through the 10th, the Dubai Fitness Championship. The roster is slowly continuing to grow. We talked about a few of the athletes already. They continue to make more announcements. By my count, they're at about 33 total athletes,
Hmm,
primarily European athletes, but some folks from Oceania, some folks from the Middle East, a couple of North Americans as of right now. Still kind of holding off until we can see the full roster to talk about that. One big announcement, though, they have now made available the spectator tickets. So if you are planning to attend in Dubai, great ticket prices, $30 for general admission for 2 days.
nice.
And then if you want the VIP experience, which includes snacks and drinks as well as a shaded seating area, that's $100 for 2 days.
That seems reasonable.
Seems really reasonable.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe not reasonable to travel to Dubai to get there to watch, but honestly, like, if it's been on your bucket list to get out to the Middle East and check it out, it is an incredible place. I've been to that competition a few times over the
Mm,
years. Dubai is an incredible city. It is wonderful. It's so incredibly hospitable. It's gorgeous. There are things there that you can't do anywhere else in the world and is definitely a once in a lifetime experience. And then if you get to see your favorite CrossFitters over there too, then it seems like a win-win. So I do highly recommend that trip.
super fun, and
Mhm.
you can save on tickets.
Yes, right. Admission
Um,
tickets, if
yeah,
not maybe not flight tickets.
yeah, well, and then into 2024, we've got the TYR Wodapalooza happening in Miami, of course, in January. Only a couple of roster announcements so far, but last week they did add to that. Guy Majeros, always a favorite at Wodapalooza, big fan of Miami. I've talked to him about it, and he's always performed well there. Got to start there, I believe, as a teen, but the year before he really made a splash in the elite division. He competed in the RX division at Wodapalooza.
Hmm,
And then in addition, Sydney Wells, Brooke Wells' twin sister, who broke out this year making the games. She will be at Wodapalooza as well.
cool. Fun. That is also soon, Joe. Like you say, like into the new year, but Wodapalooza is like
Mhm.
8 weeks away right now.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be here soon. And team registration is also open now. So if you are on a team that qualified, you can take care of your registration for Wodapalooza.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's a
Okay.
roundup.
Yeah, so lots happening in the competition space. What about in the community, in the industry, and all things CrossFit more local to us?
So you may have seen this. Certainly, I saw it.
Yeah.
The Morning Chalkup has been acquired by Barbend and Pillar4 Media
Okay.
as of last week.
What does it all mean, Joe? Explain.
I wrote a letter making the announcement to our readers. And the overall message of the announcement was that what we can expect is more of the same, which is our newsletter will continue to be published in the exact ways that it has been. We'll continue to keep you up to date on affiliate news, business news, industry news, sports, telling athlete stories, telling the stories of everyday CrossFitters who are using CrossFit to make massive changes in their lives and fighting chronic disease, modeling fitness to their communities, to their kids, to their parents, to everybody. And we'll have some more backing and some more resources to potentially do that with this acquisition. So for the regular morning chalk up reader, not much is really going to change on that side of things. Hopefully, we'll be able to expand our coverage of live
Mhm.
events. And into 2024, we've got some plans that I can't really talk about yet. We're in the early days, but it's
Mm,
really exciting.
cool. That's good to hear. I think whenever there are sales or mergers or anything along these lines, I think people have a lot of questions because they don't truly understand what it means. And I think it
Mhm.
can mean a lot of different things depending on depending on the situation.
Sure.
But what I am happy to hear is that, I know you guys, you're all I'm very familiar with the structure of the morning chalk up and everyone
Mhm.
who's involved. And I can truly say that you are all incredibly dedicated to the sport and to the community. And I know that you get criticism. We get it too on the podcast.
Mhm.
I think if you're a media person in and around any space where there's a community that truly loves what's happening, you're sort of like bound to just be exposed to the dumpster fire that can be the
Sure.
internet. However, the intentions are so incredibly pure for the people that are writing these articles and
Yeah.
interviewing the people within the community and trying to find affiliates to highlight. And like, there's just really wonderful journalism going on that is trying to elevate the sport and the community as a whole. So I am incredibly pleased to hear that you guys hopefully will have some more resources to be able to continue the good work that you're doing because that's what hampers journalism
Mhm.
across the board, be it CrossFit or not. And speaking myself as a former journalist, I can totally say that there are not enough resources to get the stories that need to be heard and told out to the people.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you saying that, and the team is staying the same. So I will continue as managing editor. Nikki Freeman will continue as our social media manager, and our staff of writers will stay the same. So we've got a large staff of writers, and they do great work. As I mentioned in the letter, we're all very involved with our own affiliate communities. We all coach. Everybody seeks out knowledge and certifications to be more knowledgeable, to be better coaches and better members of the community. and so we don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk.
So, question,
Yeah,
Joe, is maybe a little bit of a sensitive question, but like some
sure.
of the negative comments that I've seen are like, "Oh, morning chalk up sold out." What does that mean, or how would you combat that?
Yeah, I'm not really even sure what it means to sell out, quite frankly. This is, the company that has acquired the Morning Chalkup owns several brands, websites within media outlets within the fitness space, Garage Gym Reviews, Barbend, Breaking Muscle. These are kind of similar in some ways that they're focused on fitness and strength sports and things like that. And, these guys have, I think, been interested in what the Morning Chalk Up does, how successful the newsletter's been. And yeah, I mean, when I first met with them, the very first words out of their mouths were how impressed they were with what the Morning Chalk Up does, and they don't wanna fix something that isn't broken.
Cool.
Having a team supporting what the Morning Chalk Up does, supporting that mission is great, and I think can only mean great things going forward.
Cool. Well, I'm excited for you guys and excited to see how things pan out as you continue to grow.
Me too. Thank you.
What about outside of just the sale? Anything else within the community that is worth kind of chatting about?
Yeah, there was one really cool profile that we did last week that I wanted to bring up, and that is we profiled a masters only affiliate. The gym is called Grandmasters RX. It is owned by Samantha and Ed Farina in Florida. And the thing that's really cool about this gym is it's set up exactly like a regular affiliate. They run classes throughout the day, but you have to be 55 years old in order to join.
Exclusive membership club.
Mhm. Yeah, so they do run things a little. I don't want to say differently, but they have about a 5 to 6 athlete to coach ratio.
Hmm.
So pretty good class size in terms of getting a lot of attention and those sorts of things. Last year they had 35 people compete in the open. So that's really cool. The owners told us a story about how exciting it is to watch their athletes do things that they had felt like they would never be able to do again, or gain new mobility, flexibility,
Mhm.
get off of medications. They told a story about one of their members whose nickname was Milligrams because of how many pills he was on, and he was, able to really cut down on the amount of medication for chronic illness that he had, and worked really hard to develop his shoulder mobility. And one of the coaches there, as a reward, basically motivated him by saying, "If you can get your arms fully outstretched overhead," then he would take him to lunch at Hooters,
Hey.
which he did. So there you
Hey.
go.
That's a great motivator right there.
Sure.
I love it. Good for them. That's
Yeah,
interesting. I like the idea of specializing affiliates like that. I can see the argument one way or another for being like, maybe it's a little weird. Like, I kind of want my gym environment to be as normal of a human environment as
mhm,
possible, which is why I personally prefer like mixed gender classes, mixed level ability classes, mixed whatever. But I can absolutely see the argument for wanting some specialization,
yeah, sure.
especially if you're a population where we've oftentimes heard anecdotally that it's intimidating to get to the gym or that you're not sure
Yeah,
that you can
exactly.
do the things you need to do, maybe making an environment where those people feel just as comfortable as possible is one way to make
Yeah.
sure that they stick with it, right?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, and I was lucky a couple of years ago, I was able to earn my master's certification, and
Cool.
I've founded 2 master's programs here at 2 different affiliates in my area, and yeah, I mean, that was one of the things that was stressed in the certification. Sometimes master's aged folks, especially just starting out or just getting it back into the gym, are hesitant oftentimes because they don't want to hold the class up. They don't want to feel
Yeah.
like they're slowing people down or anything. And as much as that isn't the case, people do have those feelings, and so something like a master's class or a master's only affiliate, that could be a good avenue for those folks.
For sure.
Yeah,
Cool. Good for
yeah.
them.
Well, Nikki, that's all I got today.
Ooh, perfect. All right, cool. Short week, short headlines. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Joe, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you guys, everyone, for listening to this week's edition of the Weekly Buzz. If for more information on any of these stories or anything else that the Morning Chalkup is doing, you can visit their website or click on their Instagram. There's a link in the bio to all the stories that they were posting. And be sure to keep an eye out for all the latest and greatest as it unfolds. MCU will be there to cover it. For everyone listening, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will chat with you guys soon.